Folks, welcome to an all new episode of So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Monday episode. This is a pop culture roundup. Now, listen, if you're watching me on YouTube, you'll notice that my face is like a bright red tomato. I look like one of the cast members of Real Housewives of New Jersey because we went to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, and I've been here for the last 2 days, and it is fan flippin-tastic, except for the sunburn. It is so nice. I've gotten 2 nights of good sleep in a row. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm going to aim for a third tonight. And I got to tell you, when you have sleep, I, listen, I just thought I've been really depressed this last year. Turns out I'm just not sleeping, but this has been great. It's just been such a fantastic trip for the last couple of days. But don't worry, I'm still pumping out content. Not that any of you need it, but we have a great show for you today. We have two of my favorite guests that I've met doing this for the last couple of years, Emma Diamond and Julie Kramer. You guys know them as Comments by Celebs, the podcast, the Instagram account, the brand. I love them so much. And we had a fantastic conversation last week, but there's a lot of things that we didn't get to talk about that's happened in the last couple of days as I've been, busy doing this, busy doing this vacation. So I'm going to talk about a couple of stories before we get into that. But remember, the timestamp is there if you want to skip right to that conversation. But also stay tuned to So Bad It's Good all week because Tuesday we have 4 of the cast members from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives that premiered on Hulu on Friday. I know I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks because I loved it, but what did you guys think about it? It was so cool to watch everybody watching it and making TikToks and talking about it. And it seems like a lot of people were as into it and fascinated by it as I was. So tune in Tuesday for that. And then we'll be talking about episodes and things like that probably later in the week and next week as more people catch up to it because I think it is really worth your time. And it's really nice to have a new reality show out there that I like, that people like. I think we get into this cycle with reality television and maybe all television in general that it is kind of like you watch, you rinse, you repeat. You watch, you rinse, you repeat. It's like we know Salt Lake City's going to come on. We'll watch a season of that. Then Beverly Hills, then Vanderpump, then the Valley. So it's nice to have something new added to it that is a fresh take. This is all with that Mormon backdrop, and it involves TikTok. It involves young moms. Like there's so many different facets of this that you can talk about, and it's already going to have a second season. And I think the periphery characters in this are really exciting as well because right now the two main characters in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is Whitney and Taylor Frankie Paul, but the rest of that cast has so many good stories that we haven't even heard about yet. So there is so much room for this show to grow, and that's really exciting. But what's crazy though is that I think everybody was watching that this weekend, and a lot of people forgot that there was a whole new season of Selling Sunset that premiered on Friday as well. I didn't even get to watch it yet, so I have to catch up on that this week. But that's wild that it's like, man, usually when Selling Sunset comes out, you hear people talking about it for at least a week. And I think people like kind of watch the Mormon Wives first, and then they're going to Selling Sunset, like myself. And then hopefully we'll be talking about Selling Sunset more. But I mean, I guess it's a good problem to have when you have that much good reality television or reality television that people are fans of to choose from. That's good. Oh my gosh, you guys, I got to tell you about something. So this doesn't come out until September 26th on Netflix, but it's called Nobody Wants This. It is a new TV series on Netflix by Erin Foster. She wrote, created this. Erin and Sarah Foster, her sister, have a podcast themselves, and I'm going to be talking to them this week. So I watched the first 5 episodes of her show, and it's fan flippin' tastic. I mean, it's amazing. Uh, I'm sure the cast is like stacked too. You have Adam Brody, you have Kristen Bell. I mean, it's really, really a good series. So even narrative storytelling, linear storytelling, like single camera comedy, I mean, it's back, baby. So there is so much good stuff entertainment wise happening in the fall. Hopefully, there's good stuff happening in the fall in your actual personal lives as well. But who knows? Speaking of that, how was your weekend? Was it good? Did you do everything that you needed to do? Was it just relaxing? I hope it was all of that. I got to tell you though, it's really nice to have a couple of days away from Los Angeles, and then I'm going to New York on Tuesday. I got some really exciting things there for a couple of days in New York, so it is busy, busy, busy. But I'm so thankful. I'm so happy you guys are here with us today, and let's get into some news, shall we? Oh, real quick, some business. Please, if you may, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's a real quick, easy, free way to support your podcast that you enjoy. Just a quick flick of the thumb, and do it for all the podcasts that you listen to, because it really does help with placement. It helps people discover the show. And I know, people are like, people already know you. Well, they might, but they might not. So it always, always helps. Also, I did an hour and 40-minute Vanderpump Rules season 1, episode 7 recap I released on Thursday night. And that's the episode I talked about it on the OC recap, where Jax breaks up with Laura Lee in the first season. It's intense. I was unhinged on that recap. So go check it out at patreon.com/so bad it's good. And we are at the finale of season 1. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but Jax tells Stassi that he indeed did get an adult film star pregnant in Vegas. So spoiler. But don't worry, Jax was totally fine after that point, and he's on the straight and narrow. JK, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so here's the huge news that happened this weekend. Our very own Kristen Doute. I feel like she's a family member at this point. Kristen Doute is now engaged to the Valley star Luke Broderick. Now, you know that the cast is on a trip to Maui right now, right? And I know you're saying, oh, yeah, Jax, he stole sunglasses from the sunglass hut in Maui. Yeah, no, good memory. But the cast is all there. And so I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? And this Luke surprises Doute and proposes to her. Let's see here. Here's some details. Kristen told Us Weekly it was a total surprise. Now, they've been dating for 2 years, you guys. There's photos from the engagement posted to all of their Instagrams. You can tell she looks completely surprised. And there's an emerald cut diamond ring. And this diamond ring, you guys, it is a 4.27 carat emerald cut diamond. Surrounded by a half carat worth of diamonds on the band and hidden halo set. I don't know what hidden halo set means, but it's in 14 karat white gold, which represents, get this, you guys, it represents Luke's love that surrounds Kristen. And guess who designed this jewelry? It is, of course, the one and only Kyle Chan. Now, Kyle Chan, I mean, you know how is it Nick Lane who does all the rings for the Bachelor franchise? Nick Lane? No, I'm thinking Nick Lane. Well, you know the guy that does all the rings. Kyle Chan seems like he does all the rings for all the Vanderpump kids. He did Sheena Shea's 12 karat pink engagement ring from Brock Davies. He did Katie Maloney's rose gold engagement ring. He's made plenty of jewelries for Tom Sandoval. So this guy makes, jewelry for all of the cast. So Kristen and Luke, just to give you a little backstory, if you don't remember, met at a wedding in June 2022. And remember that wedding, they had sex behind it. They made love behind a tent. And then he moved out here and he starred on his baby's first reality show, The Valley, which now turned into be a hit. But this is great. They're married. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be talking about this on their podcast, Balancing Act. But I just think it's wild because Vanderpump Rules is off season, right? And we'll get to that in a second because there's new Vanderpump news, or at least some rumblings in the Vanderpump Rules universe. It's like too much is going on in the Vanderpump extended universe. So Lala had her baby last week, right? And she has not revealed the baby's name yet. But it's like Selling Sunset coming out at the same time as The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I completely forgot that Lala had a baby. I moved on to Kristen and Luke. I was like, whoa, can we guys slow down? Can we I know we're doing this for the Valley as well, because at what point in the Valley second season will this be the season finale? But then I was like, oh, poor Lala. She's out. Her baby barely got a day's worth of attention. Are we covering that on the Valley at all? But man, so they're all over there in Maui except for Jax. Now, do you wonder if Tom Sandoval's like, because Tom Sandoval and Luke's talked about this on the podcast where they're kind of friendly. They hang out from time to time. Do you think Sandoval, who initially was dating Kristen Doute on the first couple of seasons of Vanderpump Rules, do you think he gave like a congratulations text? Like, what's up, dude? Heard you're engaged, Doute. That's so cool. Like, how do you think that? All I'm saying is that maybe we can shoot two shows at the same time. The Valley's shooting right now, but Vanderpump Rules should be shooting right now as well. And in some circles, they are already saying that it is shooting right now, but not the Vanderpump Rules that we know and love or that we know and gives us bad vibes, but they are shooting a spinoff right now. So this was reported from a couple of different sources, is that they have been shooting all around Sur. We have pictures of cameras at Sur. We have like two people in the Sur Alley, the legendary, I think it's like a holy mecca, the Sur Alley. We saw two employees shooting back there. Now it says they've been shooting for the past couple of weeks, but the potential new show has not been officially picked up yet. So my working theory on this, you guys, is that this is for a sizzle reel. Now, sizzle reels, usually that's something that a production company will put together to show the look of the show, of what the characters are, what this potential story is. So they'll do like a 5-minute sizzle reel. So to be like sexy new cast, hot new drinks, like that kind of thing. And then they'll be able to take it to Bravo and go, this is what we have. This is a proof of concept. So my theory is that they're shooting that. Listen, they might have just gone ahead and given it a series order and just not told anybody, but I don't think so. I think they're shooting test footage. But this report also says that the actual Vanderpump Rules will begin shooting in late fall. So what my sources say is late October is what I'm hearing, and unless something changes, it looks like the entire cast is expected to be back. Expected to be back. So you got Ariana, DJ James Kennedy, Katie, Lala, Sheena, Tom Sandoval, Tom Schwartz, as well as Allie and Brock. So they're saying they are all going to be back. So yeah, I guess but if you think about all of these life events happening, I can see a path forward. It might not be the friendliest season ever. It might be completely disjointed. But if you have the Valley second season where it seems like they are all heavily invested in each other's lives, and then you have the Doty and Luke proposal, and you have Sheena and Lala in certain episodes of the Valley, I think there's a way this could be a seamless transition. So expect to see the Valley season 2 first. And what I would imagine is the Valley season 2 finale would lead into the next season of Vanderpump Rules season 12. I know I sound like a complete conspiracy theorist. This is one of those YouTube conspiracy guys. But speaking of Vanderpump Rules and the Valley, let's talk a little bit about Jax Taylor. But honestly, just back to Doty. Doty is a legend in the Vanderpump Rules circle, and we've seen her love hard. We've seen her lose a lot at love, but it's she's an iconic Vanderpump Rules character, and it's really exciting for her, and I'm really curious to see how all of this plays out. And it's always a little dangerous, I think we all know, to put your love life on television. And Doty's a perfect example because there have been so many examples of her in relationships on this show. Sandoval, DJ James Kennedy, the the guy with the beard. What was that guy's? Oh, Carter. Carter. There's been a lot of things. But Luke has a little bit of a fish out of water vibe. I think he just got running water at his place a couple of years ago, but I'm still here for it. To see Doty planning a full-on wedding, that's pretty exciting. But let's talk about Mr. Jax Taylor for a second. So Jax is out of this mental health facility, but like I told you on Saturday's episode, I put this at the beginning. Zach Wickham from the Valley cast said, "Oh, this guy's been out of rehab, and how is he still like a complete asshole or something to that effect?" But he used the word rehab. Now, Sheena Shea in Shenanigans kind of referred to it as a rehab as well. So the mental health facility aspect of it doesn't seem completely on point. It seems like this might have been a mixture of a both sort of place. I'm sure we'll find out more, but we can never really expect too much honesty with Jax. That doesn't seem to be his strong suit. But remember that Brittany said that they were going to split their podcast when reality hits. So it was going to be like Brittany one week and then Jax the next week. So Brittany was last week and Jax's turn was this week. And he talked a lot. And he was very open. Who knows how honest he was, but he was very open. But I thought there was a lot of good, like interesting stuff. He was talking about he didn't want to fucking leave the rehab facility. He really didn't. He was so sad he's leaving. He said he was crying. He said he didn't want to go because he was scared to leave those doors because there he had structure every day. He knew what he was doing. He said he was reading. He was in that world. And he said, I was like, God, I know the real world's going to hit me like a ton of bricks. I got to go back to filming my show. And I know everybody's mad at me and they're going to come at me. And I was just like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. And it's been happening, but I've been dealing with it, but it's scary. I mean, there's already footage this week of him at Jax's Saloon, running one of the events. Um, but he talked a lot about this, but it was interesting. He did explain that he was able to have his phone at times. He was also able to leave to go to Crunch Gym for an hour, but the facility would send somebody with him. So I really don't know. I've never been to rehab, and I don't know. I've only seen rehab in like movies and TV shows or somebody telling me about it, but it seemed like, wow, you're allowed to go out with a person to a gym for an hour. But he said he was in therapy for like 7 hours a day, but he said he really does good with a regimen. So we will see. But obviously, he says he has a bipolar diagnosis, right? And I also think there was substance abuse issues if you're bringing rehab into this. So I'll be curious to hear more, but he says this was the right decision for his family. He completely understands why Brittany did what she did. And he seems like he's fully accepted that, which kind of goes along with that theory that we've all been talking about is that that I think he was kind of checked out of this relationship for a while. And Brittany obviously doesn't deserve that. So, like I said, it's going to be really, can Jax put in the hard work for this? And it can't just be podcasts. It's got to be really putting in the hard work. And I'm curious how the Valley will cover it because we talk so much about like the ethics of reality television because there's not a lot of ethics in reality television, right? Even watching this Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, there's like a lot of insane shit in there. I was watching Whitney's storyline and I got to tell you, those girls, they had not shown them an episode yet. I watched all 8 episodes before any of those ladies in the show did. So when I was talking to them last week, they knew little bits and pieces, but they didn't know what made the cut. They were all watching it together with 300 people on this past Friday night. But I was like, when Whitney sees this, I don't think she's going to have a great weekend. And even though she comes off as the villain, and there's a lot of things I disagree about Whitney as a character, it's still got to hurt. You do kind of worry for people like that. Or take Shannon Bedore. I mean, watching this past week's episode, that last scene was Shannon showing Heather Dubrow her bloodied face and talking more details about the John Jansen thing and the $75,000. I mean, that's really intense that this season kind of like hinges on, seeing if you can make Shannon Bedore explode. So ethics are a really hard conversation to have in terms of reality TV. Oh my God, you guys, I'm going to tell you, I got the scare of a lifetime on Saturday. So I made this silly post because, sometimes I have Tourette's of the brain and I just have to get my stupid jokes out. Two judgy girls they did not a meme, but they just did that photo of like, uh, Shannon Bedore's bloody face and Shannon Bedore crying above, and then Shannon Bedore's on the second box, it was the photo. So I took Shannon crying, and then on the phone, I superimposed Tamara Judge's, shedding of the skin face from her facelift last week. And I put that there so it looked like Shannon Bedore was crying over that. Completely silly, childish, stupid joke, right? But like that's me. I wake up Saturday, Tamra Judge followed me on Instagram and I got it. And I was like, I'm on vacation. I don't need this. I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then I got scared. I was shitting I don't need Tamra. Like, I just need to stay in the background. Nobody needs to know about me. Like, but it was like, and then Tamra posted that in her stories. And I was like, no, 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 no. Like, I don't know. So hey, Tamara, if you're listening, what up? Face is looking good. Face, everything's a-okay. Woo! Oh my gosh. And I told you this week, Shannon Bedore is in Mexico right now with Countess Luann, Ashley Darby, and Giselle filming Love Hotel for Bravo. How exciting is that? They're filming that dating show in Mexico. I wonder how close I am to them right now. Oh, also, I wanted to give a special shout out to Juliana Carroza. It is her birthday today. Happy birthday, Julie. Juliana is amazing. She has been with me a baddie since like, I don't know, like day one. She's just the best. She's taken notes for me on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Vanderpump Rules. And she has always been so supportive of me. She's hysterical. She's so nice. Her family's amazing. And she's just always, just one of those people, even when I'm not believing in myself, she always is so encouraging. And Juliana, if you're listening, I hope you have had the best birthday ever. You are one of the best people that I've met doing this. And, just happy, happy, happy birthday. You deserve the world. And I hope your family treated you like the queen that you are. Also, I wanted to give a special shout out. I did a cameo. I did a cameo for another birthday today for Aaron Morrison. I did a crazy Cabo video that just my hair was wacky. I looked like a tomato. But Aaron, if you're listening, Tiana got you a cameo. So happy birthday. I hope you had a great one. And also, if you're a chump, what up, chumps? I'm not on Jeff Lewis this week because I'll be here and in New York, but all is well there. Okay, some other entertainment news. Beetlejuice, the new Michael Keaton sequel to Beetlejuice that came out 35 years ago. Tim Burton directed this. It made $110 million at the box office. It's great when a movie like that does good. It's good for the overall industry. I still haven't seen it. I can't wait to see it. I rewatched the first Beetlejuice a couple weeks ago just to prepare, but man, I am in love with Michael Keaton. I've been in love with Michael Keaton since I was a kid. Just love that man with all that I have. And so I can't wait. Winona Ryder's in it. It's just a great cast. I'm so excited. Also, Real Housewives of Miami, they are shooting. They said the official shoot date is this week, even though I saw cameras filming some of the ladies a couple weeks ago. So who knows what the actual start date is? There was a rumor that Lisa Hochstein was not in the cast, but Lisa Hochstein is confirmed for the cast. Also, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has had the summer of a lifetime, I think, kind of winning the rap battle between him and Drake. But what do I know? My favorite band is Counting Crows. But Kendrick Lamar just got announced today as the halftime act at the Super Bowl this February. So Kendrick is going to be doing that halftime, which just like I'm almost starting to feel bad for Drake. And I know he's probably a billionaire, so I shouldn't, but that means 2024 has already been pretty bad for Drake. And now 2025 is potentially not going to start off well for him either. I mean, what if an entire football stadium sings Not Like Us, which is like, uh, what if that, I mean, oh, Drake, you should have just stayed with the hotline blinging. But Kendrick Lamar, congratulations. That's fantastic. I was very excited to see Kendrick, even though I had heard rumors it was going to be Miley Cyrus. So it is Kendrick. So many things are going on. Also, we talk about Lana Del Rey in this episode, but we talked about it last week in regards to her dating this alligator this alligator tour guide. I know I shouldn't laugh. Probably a lot of people are alligator tour guides, but there's been a lot of like rumors that Lana Del Rey was just dating this kind of normal, everyday alligator tour guide. And then people are like, oh, that's not true. We talk about her saying on a post, no, But you'll find out the comments by Celebs Girls were dead on right because it turns out she is dating. She brought him to New York to her friend's wedding, and I think they went to a New York Fashion Week event together. So we'll find out more information about that later on this week. Also, at some point, I got to talk about this Nikki Avocado. This Nikki Avocado, he's a YouTuber that did dude, by the way, I've been calling it mukbangs for the like ever since I thought it was mukbangs. It's mukbangs? Mukbangs? I thought it was mukbangs. It's mukbangs. And it's where you like just literally force feed yourself until you get sick on camera. I mean, not literally get sick, but you're just engorging food. And I get that's called a mukbang. And this Nicky Avocado, I guess he was one of the kings of it. And he started off as, a slim dude and then just blew up and blew up. Well, this Nicky Avocado comes out a couple days ago and he's lost 250 pounds and surprised everybody because he had been putting out content still at his heaviest. So he must have filmed all this content 2 years ago and has been slowly releasing it over the last 2 years and then put out the creepiest video. I'm going to play the audio at some point this week because it makes him come off like the Riddler from Batman. I was like, okay, great. You're 2 steps ahead of us. You lost all the weight, but my God, I think you're about to kill all of us now. Like it was one of the scariest videos. And I'm not a big YouTube guy, but it scared the living shit out of me. Like if you have you guys seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But I was like, okay, yeah, man, you lost the weight and we didn't know. Congratulations. And now you're just gonna haunt my nightmares for the rest of my life. Oh gosh. Also, it turns out football season has started, and the only reason I know that is because Taylor Swift was at that Kansas City Chiefs game this past week. And then I guess Taylor and Travis Kelsey. Did you guys hear they're dating? We actually talked. This is the episode where I find out during the episode about that fake story that there was a contract in place for the dissolving of the Taylor Travis relationship, supposedly at the end of September. And they say it's completely false. I don't think it's real at all. But we find out at the end of this episode, you'll hear me get the alert and talk about it with the comments by Celebs Girls. But Travis and Taylor, they did the football game and then they went to New York and then they went to the US Open today. And it turns out, like, I'm not even into sports. And now all of a sudden I'm paying attention if like Taylor's talking to this Brittany Mahomes, the quarterback's wife. And Taylor's supposed to hate Brittany Mahomes because Brittany Mahomes liked a Donald Trump post, and then she was hugging Brittany Mahomes at the U.S. Open today. And then there's always like one of the sisters from Haim, the band Haim, who I love Haim. But there's always like a Haim member, like a member of Haim, just like hanging out in the background every time I see Taylor Swift. And I don't know, you guys, and I don't know if I care, but Taylor Swift, she was like singing along to like every song. It was like she was at her own concert. Like I saw so much footage of her just singing along, having her vodka cranberries. And I guess I like that. But sometimes I worry, like, is she getting overexposed? You got, are we seeing like, I don't know. It's like one thing when she's doing the Eras tour, and now when she's like back on US soil and she's like going to football games and going to the US Open, I'm like, huh. Like you do wonder when she's gonna take some time just for herself away from cameras. It's possible. I don't know. I got to think more on this before I talk to you guys more about it because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Also, we talk a lot about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez in this episode. And there's a film festival going on right now. And Jennifer Lopez has a new film that is supposed to be really good. And Matt Damon, I believe, is a producer on it. But Jennifer Lopez was at the premiere and Matt Damon was there as well. And Demois, who was on the podcast this past week, she posted these great photos. It looked like Matt Damon and Jennifer Lopez in a very deep conversation where he was holding her hand. And it looked, it was very, those photos where it kind of tells a story or you fill in the blanks on a story, where in my mind it looked like she was talking about her heartbreak with Ben or what he couldn't do or why their relationship didn't work. And Matt Damon, Ben Affleck's best friend, who has known J-Lo for decades because of Ben, was sitting there holding her hand, talking with her about this. And it was just like, I mean, stars, they're just like us. I was just wondering when Ben saw those pictures, if he was texting Matt, it's like, what the fuck, dude? What'd she say, man? What'd she say about me? Did you stand up for me, dude? Like, don't you? There had to have been some kind of conversation, but I will never know. But I've seen all those lip reading videos on TikTok where somebody will like lip read like really well. Like, I wonder if there's any video, we'll get one of those lip readers on it to find out exactly what they were talking about. Okay, you guys, there is so much other pop culture going on right now, but let's get to the interview. We're only 30 minutes in. Have the best Monday ever. Really, come back on Tuesday. Even if you don't watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, come just to hear the episode. It was one of my first in person ones in a studio. So I'm really proud of it. It has four of the ladies, which is really hard to interview four of them and still try to make it work. But if you're into the show or even kind of on the fence about starting to watch this show, come back and check it out for yourself. But we got great shows all week, and I hope you have the best Monday ever. Bye, guys.